Have you ever felt your heart race, your hands shake, your mind explode with anger or fear before you even realized what was happening? You reacted before you thought. You said words you couldn't take back. You made decisions that left a sting deep in your chest. And in that instant, it felt like you were powerless, like the world was driving you instead of the other way around. It's exhausting, isn't it? Feeling like every day, every conversation, every moment is slipping through your fingers because your mind moves faster than your will. But what if I told you that you can stop this cycle, that you can reclaim control, not by suppressing what you feel, but by transforming the way your mind works, by learning the difference between reacting and responding? Imagine standing in a storm and feeling the wind against your face, but instead of being blown over, you bend with it, you move with it, you navigate it without losing yourself. That power is not reserved for the few. It is not some mystical gift hidden behind years of meditation or self-help books. It is something you can train, something your mind is capable of if you know how to unlock it. And that is exactly what we are going to do right here, right now. Every reaction you have, every rush of anger, fear, frustration, even excitement is like a wave crashing over you. Most people are swept away, tumbled under, drowned in the immediacy of the moment. They think they are in control, but they are at the mercy of impulses they don't understand. That's the truth. Your reactions are not you. They are automatic responses, conditioned habits shaped by past experiences, by survival instincts, by a mind that prioritizes speed over clarity. Reacting is the mind running on autopilot, fueled by emotion and habit, leaving your conscious self gasping in the wake. And it happens so fast that by the time you notice, it's too late. You've said too much, done too much, felt too much, and that sting of regret, that tension in your chest, that gnawing sense that you could have handled it differently, that is your mind telling you it craves mastery. It is asking you to step up, to train it, to take the helm and steer instead of being steered. Responding, on the other hand, is a different world entirely. It is not about bottling up your feelings or pretending you are unshakable. It is not about denial or suppression. It is about presence, awareness, choice. When you respond, you are not a victim of your impulses. You are an architect of your own actions. A storm can rage, voices can shout, chaos can swirl around you, and yet there is a calm in your chest, a clarity in your mind. You notice the trigger, you feel the rush, you assess the situation, and then you act with intention, with purpose, with precision. This is not theoretical. This is practical. This is life-changing. Every decision becomes sharper, every interaction becomes cleaner, every choice becomes yours. And here's the beauty of it. You don't need a perfect mind. You don't need to meditate for hours or retreat from the world. You only need the willingness to see yourself clearly, to recognize your triggers, to feel your impulses without surrendering to them, to pause just long enough to let awareness guide your next move. It sounds simple because, in essence, it is. But it is powerful because it rewires the way you exist in every moment. It teaches your nervous system that it is safe to wait, that clarity matters more than speed, that your choices define you more than your emotions. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, the world begins to shift. You notice how fewer conflicts escalate, how calm starts to creep into spaces that once felt chaotic. Your mind, once a runaway train, begins to move with purpose, each thought deliberate, each action measured, each response a reflection of the person you want to be. This is the promise: mastery over your mind, mastery over your life, the ability to step into every moment fully awake, fully aware, and fully in control. It is not a dream. It is not an abstract goal. It is a skill, and every skill can become a response. Every impulsive word can be replaced with intentional speech. Every rash action can be met with deliberate choice. And in that shift, you find freedom, the kind of freedom that fills your chest with calm, that steadies your hands, that aligns your mind with your will. You find power, the quiet, unshakable kind that doesn't shout but moves everything in its path. This is what it means to respond instead of react. And as you sit with that truth, as it settles into your mind, you realize something essential. This is the moment where it begins, right now, today. You can train your mind. You can reclaim yourself. You can step off autopilot. And once you do, nothing, not fear, not anger, not chaos, will control you again. Every moment you waste reacting is a moment stolen from the life you could be living. Every sharp word, every rushed decision, every surrender to impulse leaves a mark you carry with you long after the moment has passed. And yet, So many of us accept this as normal. We tell ourselves, that's just how I am. But that is a lie we tell to avoid the hard truth. Your mind can be trained. Your habits can be rewritten. The chaos that feels inevitable can be mastered. The question is simple. Will you let your mind run your life, or will you step in and take control? Because the cost of hesitation is high. Every day you allow your reactions to rule, you reinforce the very patterns that keep you trapped, anxio, frustrated, and unfulfilled. And the longer you wait, the heavier it becomes. It compounds, it creeps into every interaction, every choice, every corner of your life until it feels like change is impossible. But it isn't impossible. It is urgent. It is necessary. And the first step is staring you in the face. Notice how your impulses appear, how irritation sparks without warning, how fear presses against your chest before you even understand why. These are not weaknesses. They are signals. They are the raw material of transformation. Each time you feel the tension rising, each time you feel the urge to react instantly, you have a choice. You can follow the old path, the one paved by habit, or you can step into a new rhythm. That rhythm is awareness. That rhythm is observation. That rhythm is pause, not avoidance, not denial, just pause. Long enough to remember who you are, long enough to remind yourself that you are not your impulses. And in that pause, something remarkable happens. The energy that once consumed you becomes manageable. The chaos that once ruled you becomes an instrument in your hands. You gain leverage over the very force that once felt unstoppable. Imagine for a moment the power of a single pause, the heat of anger in your chest, the words itching at your tongue, the fight or flight screaming for release, and then just one breath, one conscious inhale, one deliberate exhale. That is all it takes to shift from reaction to response. That is all it takes to reclaim control. And when you do it once, it becomes easier. Twice, it becomes habit. Every pause rewires your brain. Every choice trains your nervous system. Every conscious action builds strength you can feel. It is invisible work at first, but like a muscle, it grows. And soon, you will notice it in every corner of your life. Less conflict, more clarity, more pay. More power. Do not underestimate how urgent this is. Every argument avoided, every rash decision transformed. Every moment of frustration redirected is a moment gained in the life you actually want to live. Imagine walking into a room and carrying calm like armor. Imagine facing criticism, provocation, chaos, and feeling steady, untouchable, unshakable. Imagine the relief of not reacting and the strength of knowing you are always capable of responding. The stakes are higher than you think. This is not about being polite. This is not about being passive. This is about mastery. This is about survival in the modern world, where every second of reaction can have ripple effects that shape your relationships, your career, your health, your future. You cannot afford to drift anymore. You cannot afford to surrender to autopilot. The time is now, and here is the truth you need to feel in your bones. No one else will do this for you. No one else can step in and pause your mind for you. The control, the power, the calm. It is yours, but only if you claim it. Every moment you hesitate, you reinforce the old patterns. Every moment you act, even imperfectly, you reshape your mind. You are not waiting for some perfect state. You are creating it, one response at a time. The freedom of a controlled mind, the clarity of intentional action, the strength of choice. These are not distant dreams. They are here, in front of you, waiting for you to grab them. Waiting for you to refuse the old ways, waiting for you to train your mind and step into the life that has been just out of reach, because until now you have been reacting, not responding. Feel the urgency, feel the stakes, feel the possibility. Every impulse is a challenge, every reaction avoided is a victory. Every conscious choice is a step closer to the life you deserve. Do not wait, do not falter. This is your mind, this is you, our life. And right now, in this moment, you have the power to begin, to pause, to choose, to respond, to take what has always been within your reach and make it real. The shift begins with awareness. The change begins with action. The transformation begins with you. And once you start, there is no turning back. You will see it, you will feel it, you will become it, and nothing, not anger, not fear, not chaos, will ever control you again. Every day your mind is under siege. Thoughts crash like waves, emotions flare like fire, and the world demands speed. React fast, respond immediately. React now, respond later. The messages are endless. The pressure is relentless. And if you aren't careful, you will surrender to the chaos without even realizing it. Every reaction you give, every moment you let your impulses dictate your actions, strengthens a pattern that keeps you small, reactive, and exhausted. You feel it, don't you? That tension rising in your chest, that heat behind your eyes, that unspoken frustration that you carry from one moment to the next. It whispers, you could do better. You should do better. Why can't you control this? And the truth is, you can. You must. Because the cost of inaction is the life you lose to autopilot, to chaos, to reflex. Every missed pause is a step away from the calm, powerful life waiting for you. Every unmeasured word, every impulsive gesture, every uncontrolled reaction is energy spent on things that do not serve you. And yet your mind, like a muscle, responds to training. Like a fire, it can be harnessed. Like water, it can be guided. But only if you step in. Only if you claim it. Imagine yourself in the heat of conflict, in the rush of fear, in the pull of anger. Your heart pounds, your mind races, your body trembles. The instinct to lash out, to defend, to fight is there, screaming for release. Most people give in. Most people let the storm control them. But not you. You pause. You breathe. You notice. And in that pause, the moment shifts. The power shifts. You shift. It is not weakness to wait. It is strength. It is strategy. It is mastery. And every time you choose to respond instead of react, you are rewriting the story of who you are moment by moment. You are proving to yourself that you are not a slave to impulse, not a victim of circumstance, not a passenger in your own life. You are the driver. You are the architect. You are the force shaping every second that follows. The stakes could not be higher. Every uncontrolled reaction costs you. Every word spoken in anger, every decision made in haste, every choice surrendered to emotion leaves a mark. It affects your relationships, your reputation, your health, your future. It compounds, it accumulates. And soon you find yourself trapped in the patterns you refuse to address. But here is the edge of the truth. Freedom is available, clarity is available, power is available. It is waiting for those willing to claim it, to notice the impulse, to pause, to act consciously, to respond deliberately. One pause, one choice, one action. That is all it takes to turn a life of reactive chaos into a life of responsive mastery. And once the first one is made, the next becomes easier, and the next, and the next. Momentum builds, confidence grows, power expands. The world begins to bend to the mind that has learned control. This is not a theory. This is survival. This is evolution. This is the difference between a life lived under pressure and a life lived in command. Your thoughts, your impulses, your emotions, they are not the enemy. They are signals, tools, raw energy waiting to be shaped. And shape them you must. Every day you fail to respond is a day you surrender your future to chaos. Every second you hesitate is a second your mind strengthens the old patterns that keep you reactive. Every impulse unexamined is another chain added to the cage that keeps you small. But every moment you pause, every moment you choose, every moment you respond is freedom earned, power reclaimed, life regained. This is the battlefield. This is the edge. And if you act now, if you train your mind relentlessly, if you refuse to surrender to reflex, you will emerge not only unshakable but unstoppable. And it begins with awareness. Awareness of the impulses, awareness of the triggers, awareness of the choices hiding inside every rush of emotion. You do not need perfect control. You need consistent action. One pause, one breath, one deliberate response. Do it once, and the effect ripples outward. Do it twice, and the ripple becomes a wave. Do it hundreds of times, and the wave becomes a current carrying you forward through life. Steady, purposeful, unstoppable. This is not small. This is not optional. This is the work of the mind, the work of the soul, the work of a life finally lived on your terms. The power is in your hands. The time is now. React no longer. Respond. Step into the strength that has always been yours, and let nothing take it from you again. Every second you hesitate, the old patterns tighten their grip. The reflexes that once protected you now chain you. The fire that once fueled survival now consumes clarity. You feel it, the tension in your chest, the restlessness in your hands, the voice inside screaming to act before you think. That voice is loud, relentless, demanding, but it is not truth. It is habit. It is instinct untempered by choice. And you have a choice. You can let it dictate your life, or you can take the first breath that breaks its hold. Imagine stepping into a room and feeling the energy rise around you. Words fly, accusations flare, Challenges erupt, and yet you remain calm. Not because the chaos is gone, but because you are no longer its prisoner. You observe, you weigh, you decide, and in that moment power returns to you. Not flashy, not violent, not loud, but undeniable, steady, complete. This is not a gift, it is training. It is work. And it begins with noticing the impulse and refusing to surrender. The stakes could not be higher. Every reaction you give feeds the patterns that limit you. Every impulsive word, every heated gesture, every unmeasured action shapes the world around you in ways you cannot undo. The anger you release, the fear you feed, the frustration you act on, they echo, they linger, they accumulate, they define your life unless you intervene. And that intervention is urgent. There is no grace period. There is no waiting for the right moment. Each instant is a crossroads. Pause, and the path of mastery opens. React, and the old path deepens, carving grooves into your mind that grow stronger with every lapse. Imagine the difference in a single day. The same triggers, the same pressures, but a mind that pauses, a heart that remains steady, a body that acts with intention. Imagine the freedom of not being swept. Tee away the clarity of seeing the consequences before they strike, the quiet confidence of knowing you are in control. That is the edge you can reach, but only if you refuse to drift. Notice the impulses. Feel them rise. Anger, fear, irritation, excitement. They are energy, raw and unshaped. Do not fight them. Do not suppress them. Do not deny them. Feel them fully and then choose. That choice is where power lives. That choice is the hinge between chaos and command. And the first time you take it, it feels small. One pause, one breath, one deliberate response. But the impact is enormous. Every reaction avoided, every response chosen, every second of awareness strengthens the mind that no longer bows to impulse. Momentum builds. Each pause becomes easier. Each choice becomes clearer. Each day, the life you want grows closer. The storm outside may rage, the voices may shout, the pressures may rise, but inside you are steady. Inside you are unstoppable. This is not about perfection. It is about progress. Every moment counts. Every pause matters. Every conscious choice is a victory over the life you could lose to chaos. Imagine the relationships preserved, the opportunities seized, the regrets avoided. Imagine the relief of knowing your mind is no longer a runaway train. Imagine walking through life with quiet confidence, clarity in your decisions, strength in your calm authority in your presence. You are training a force more powerful than anger, more reliable than instinct, more enduring than fear. That force is your will. That force is your awareness. That force is your capacity to respond, and it grows every time you choose to act with purpose instead of reacting on impulse. Do not wait, do not falter. Do not let another moment pass where autopilot rules. The world will always demand speed. Life will always throw chaos. Impulses will always But now you know the truth. None of it controls you unless you allow it. Every pause, every breath, every deliberate action is reclaiming power that was yours all along. This is not optional. This is urgent. This is life itself. And once you step fully into it, you will see the difference in every encounter, every decision, every heartbeat. Your mind, once a storm, becomes your ally. Your impulses, once a prison, become your instruments. Your life, once reactive, becomes responsive. And in that mastery, in that deliberate control, you discover the freedom, the strength, and the clarity that you have been searching for. It is here. It is yours. It begins now. Every impulse is a test. Every urge to lash out, to panic, to rush is a signal that your mind is alive, that your instincts are sharp. But sharpness without control cuts you. Sharpness without direction wounds your life. You feel the tension building in your chest, the heat rising in your head, the trembling under your skin. That is the moment that decides everything. That is the instant where the path splits. React and lose control, or pause and claim power. And make no mistake, the stakes are enormous. Every uncontrolled response builds chains you cannot see until they are heavy on your shoulders. Every word spoken in haste, every choice made without thought, every action surrendered to impulse leaves a mark. It spreads, it compounds. It shapes the life you live, the relationships you hold, the reputation you carry, the future you step into. You cannot afford to drift anymore. You cannot afford to surrender. Now feel the power of a single pause. One breath, one moment of awareness, one choice that refuses the chaos That is all it takes to change the course of a day, a conversation, a life. That single act signals to your mind that you are in command, that you are not a passenger, that you are the driver. And each time you practice it, each time you choose to respond instead of react, your mind rewires itself. The autopilot loosens its grip. The reflex is slow. The clarity strengthens. It is invisible at first, almost imperceptible, but the effect is profound. One pause becomes two, two becomes three, and before you know it, the chaos that once ruled your life is a current you can navigate instead of a wave that sweeps you under. Imagine the relief of walking through life with that control, not brittle control, not forced calm, real control, a steady mind in a storm, a sharp awareness in every interaction, a clarity that cuts through confusion and fear. Every argument avoided, every rash reaction transformed, every impulsive word held back becomes a victory. Every choice to pause and act consciously is a deposit into a reservoir of strength you can draw on whenever life tests you, and it will test you. Chaos is relentless. The world is relentless. The pressure never ends. But now you have the edge. Now you have the skill. Now you have the power. And that power grows with every conscious choice. This is not abstract. This is not theoretical. This is life itself, measured in the seconds between impulse and action. It is survival. It is mastery. It is evolution. Your mind, once a storm of reactions, can become a force of precision, calm, and strength. Your emotions, once overwhelming, can become allies, informing rather than consuming. Your choices, once impulsive, can become deliberate, powerful, and transformative. And the transformation begins not tomorrow, not when conditions are perfect, but right now, right here, with the next impulse, with the next thought, with the next urge. Pause, notice, decide, respond, repeat, and repeat. Every moment you resist the reflex, you are shaping a new reality. Every pause strengthens the path toward mastery. Every concise response reinforces the control you seek. Imagine a life where stress does not break you, where criticism does not shake you, where fear does not control you. Imagine facing challenges, chaos, confrontation, and emerging steady, clear, powerful. That is not fantasy. That is achievable. That is waiting. But it will not come to you. You must claim it. You must train for it. You must commit to every pause, every breath, every deliberate choice. This is the battlefield of the mind, and your weapons are awareness, restraint, and decision. Every moment you act consciously is another victory. Every moment you surrender is another chain. Do not wait. Do not falter. Do not allow another day to slip through your fingers under the control of reflexes and impulses. The fire of emotion is natural, but it is not inevitable. The rush of instinct is unavoidable, but it is controllable. The chaos outside is constant, but it is powerless against a mind that has trained itself to respond. Claim it now. Take it now. Begin now. Because every second you delay is a second lost to the life you could be living, the power you could be wielding, the freedom you could feel. Pause. Notice. Decide. Respond. And once you do, the world will bend. The chaos will yield, and the life you have been striving for will finally be within reach. Every heartbeat is a choice. Every thought is a signal. Every urge is a crossroads. Your mind races, your emotions flare, your body tenses, and in that moment it demands one thing: reaction. The world expects it. Instinct demands it. Habit feeds it, and most people give in without question, surrendering their power, their clarity, their freedom. But you are not most people. You are here. You are listening. You are awake. And that awakening carries weight. It carries urgency. It carries responsibility. Every second you allow autopilot to run your life is a second you lose forever. Every reaction surrendered to habit reinforces chains that grow heavier, tighter, invisible, but unyielding. The choice to respond is not just a skill. It is survival. It is mastery. It is the difference between living a life dictated by circumstance and commanding a life built by intention. Feel it now. The tension in your chest, the pressure behind your eyes, the surge of energy threatening to burst. That is life testing you. That is your mind screaming for control. That is the raw material of transformation. You can ignore it, you can react, you can surrender, and it will cost you, or you can step into it. You can pause, you can breathe, you can notice. And in that pause, everything shifts, not in fantasy, not in theory, but in real, measurable, undeniable ways. One pause changes the moment. One choice redirects the day. One response reshapes the trajectory of your life. The smallest act of awareness carries power beyond imagination. It ripples outward, unseen at first, imperceptible, but unstoppable. And the world begins to bend to the mind that refuses to be a slave to reflex. The stakes are relentless. Every uncontrolled reaction corrodes your confidence, your relationships, your energy, your future. Every impulsive word leaves scars. Every rash action narrows your options. Every ined impulse deepens the grooves of habit until the weight of your own mind feels like a prison. And yet freedom is always available. Clarity is always available. Power is always available. It waits for those who will meet it with intention, who will train their minds with discipline, who will choose response over reaction, over and over, until it becomes the natural state of being. Imagine stepping into a conflict and feeling nothing but calm. Imagine the chaos around you, the noise, the tension, and not being consumed. Imagine responding with precision, with control, with strength, and watching the world itself shift in recognition of your steadiness. That is not impossible. That is not hypothetical. That is attainable, but only if you act. Every moment of restraint is a victory. Every deliberate pause is a statement of power. Every conscious choice to respond is a declaration that you will no longer be controlled by reflex, by habit, by chaos. It is invisible work, but its effects are tangible. Opportunities preserved, relationships strengthened, regret diminished, clarity magnified. Life bends to those who master themselves first. The fire of emotion is real, the surge of instinct is undeniable, but it no longer dictates your actions. You are awake, you are aware. You are the force that shapes every decision, every word, every movement. And the stakes could not be higher, because this is life in its rawest form, the raw material of every day, every encounter, every moment waiting to be shaped by the power of conscious choice. Do not wait for a better moment. Do not expect easier conditions. Do not hope for instincts to calm themselves. The chaos will not pause, the impulses will not stop. The world will continue to demand instant reactions, and every second you hesitate is a second lost. The path to mastery begins now, in the raw tension of life itself. Pause, be, notice, respond. With each act, your mind rewires, your power grows, your clarity expands, your freedom solidifies. The storm will rage, the pressure will rise, the voices will call for reaction, but you will stand firm, unshakable, precise, unstoppable. This is not a dream. This is not a theory. This is the reality of a mind trained to respond, not react. Claim it now, step into it, live it, and once you do, you will never be at the mercy of chaos again. Every thought is a spark. Every emotion is a flame. Every impulse is a signal, demanding attention, commanding reaction. Most people feed it without thinking, letting the fire spread, consuming reason, clarity, and control. But you are not most people. You are here. You are listening. You are alive in this moment, and that presence carries power. The power to break patterns. The power to reclaim the mind that has been hijacked by habit. The power to step into a life where chaos no longer dictates your choices. Every second you react without thought is a second wasted. Every impulsive word, every hasty action, every unexamined response adds weight to the life you could lose, the freedom you could surrender, the potential you could never reach. And yet, in that same moment, in the tension rising in your chest, in the heat behind your eyes, lies the opportunity to seize control. Feel it, the rush of energy, the rise of frustration, fear, or anger, the impulse to speak before thinking, to act before considering. That is the raw material of transformation. You can ignore it, surrender to it, let it rule your day, or you can pause, you can breathe, you can notice. And in that pause, everything changes. The world may still demand speed, the chaos may still rage, the pressure may still press, but you are no longer a passenger, you are the driver. One pause is all it takes to break the cycle. One breath is enough to end, to rupture the pattern. One conscious response rewrites the trajectory of your day, your decisions, your life. The smallest acts of awareness carry power beyond measure. They ripple outward, unseen, yet unstoppable. And the mind that trains itself in this way bends the world to its will. The stakes are immense. Every unchecked reaction erodes your confidence, corrodes your relationships, drains your energy, narrows your future. Every impulsive word leaves scars. Every hasty action locks you into habits that grow stronger with every lapse. And every second you hesitate strengthens the very patterns that have kept you small, reactive, and exhausted. But freedom is always within reach. Clarity is always within reach. Strength is always within reach. They are waiting for those willing to claim them, willing to pause, willing to act consciously, willing to choose response over reaction again and again until it becomes the natural state of being. Imagine walking into conflict and feeling calm. Imagine chaos swirling around you and not being consumed. Imagine responding with clarity, precision, and strength, and watching the world itself shift around your steadiness. That is not impossible. That is not theoretical. That is attainable, but only if you act. Every deliberate pause is a victory. Every conscious choice is a statement of power. Every act of awareness reinforces the control you seek. It is quiet work, invisible at first, but its effects are profound. Arguments avoided, opportunity seized, regret diminished, clarity magnified. Life bends to those who master themselves first. Emotions are real. Instinct is undeniable. Impulses are constant. But they no longer control you. You are awake. You are aware. You are the force shaping every decision, every word, every movement. Every moment is raw material waiting to be shaped by the power of conscious choice. Do not wait. Do not falter. Do not allow another day to slip through your fingers under the control of reflexes and impulses. The chaos will not pause. The pressures will not ease. The world will continue to demand instant reactions. Every second you delay is a second lost to the life you could be living, the power you could wield, the freedom you could feel. The path to mastery begins now, in the tension, in the heat, in the rush of life itself. Pause, breathe, notice, respond. Each act rewires your mind. Each pause strengthens your control. Each response expands your clarity. The storm will rage, the pressure will rise, the voices will demand reaction, but you will stand firm, unshakable, precise, unstoppable. This is not a dream. This is not theory. This is a mind trained to respond. Claim it, step into it, live it, and never again will chaos control you. Every moment you hesitate, the old patterns tighten their grip. Every instant you react without thought reinforces the chains that limit your life. Your impulses are loud, your instincts are relentless. They demand action before reason, emotion before clarity. Most people obey without question, surrendering the life they could have. But you are not most people. You are here, you are aware, you are listening. And that awareness carries weight. It carries responsibility. It carries power. Every second you choose to respond instead of react is a seed planted. Every breath you take to pause, to notice, to measure before acting rewires the mind that once ran wild. And every choice builds momentum. Every act compounds. Every pause strengthens your foundation. The world may press, the chaos may rise, the pressure may push, but you are no longer a passenger. You are the driver. You are the force shaping the path ahead. Feel it now. The tension in your chest, the surge of adrenaline, anger, fear, or frustration. That is life testing you. That is the raw material for transformation. You can surrender and it will cost you, or you can pause and everything changes. Not tomorrow, not later, now. One conscious choice rewrites the moment. One pause interrupts the cycle. One response reshapes the trajectory of your life. That is all it takes to claim power over the chaos. One pause, one breath, one deliberate action, and the effects ripple outward, unseen at first, but unstoppable. The mind that trains itself in this way bends the world to its will. It is quiet, it is steady, it is unshakable. The stakes could not be higher. Every uncontrolled reaction erodes confidence. Every impulsive word scars relationships. Every hasty action limits your future. Every hesitation strengthens the old patterns that have kept you small, reactive, exhausted. But freedom is within reach. Clarity is within reach. Power is within reach. It waits for those willing to claim it, willing to pause, willing to choose response over reaction, willing to train themselves relentlessly until it becomes second nature. Imagine walking into a storm and standing firm. Imagine conflict erupting and not being swept away. Imagine responding with precision, calm, and strength while the chaos rages around you. That is not fantasy. That is achievable. That is the life waiting for you if you act. Every pause is a victory. Every conscious choice is proof that you are stronger than habit. Every act of awareness reshapes your mind. Arguments avoided. Opportunities preserved. Regret diminished. Clarity magnified. Life bends to those who master themselves first. Emotions are real, instincts are undeniable, impulse is constant, but they no longer control you. You are awake, you are aware, you are shaping every decision, every word, every movement. Every moment is raw material for the life you can craft. Do not wait, do not falter. Chaos will not pause. Press, sure will not ease. The world will continue to demand instant reactions. Every second you delay is a second loss to the life you could live, the power you could wield, the freedom you could feel. The path to mastery begins now, in the raw tension of life, in the heat of impulses, in the rush of instinct itself. Pause, breathe, notice, respond. Each act rewires your mind. Each pause strengthens control. Each response expands clarity. The storm will rage, pressure will rise. Voices will demand reaction, but you will stand firm, unshakable, precise, relentless. This is not theory. This is reality. This is a mind trained to respond. Claim it, step into it, live it. And once you do, chaos will never control you again. Now feel the edge. The difference between reacting and responding is the difference between surrender and mastery. It is the line between a life spent exhausted, fragmented, and dictated by circumstances, and a life spent powerful, focused, and deliberate. Your impulses will not disappear. They cannot. But your relationship with them changes everything. You will no longer be a slave to reflex. You will no longer be a prisoner of instinct. You will move through life with intention, shaping every moment, controlling every decision, harnessing every surge of emotion as energy rather than letting it consume you. And the moment you realize this, the moment you feel the calm settle in your chest, the clarity sharpen in your mind, the certainty that every choice is yours to make, you will understand what mastery truly feels like. This is not a gift. This is not luck. This is training. This is awareness forged into action. And it begins with one pause, one breath, one conscious response. Take it, own it, live it. Your mind, your life, your freedom, all within reach. All waiting, all yours to claim now. Every moment you resist the pull of reflex, you are rewriting your story. Every pause, every breath, every conscious decision shapes the person you are becoming. The impulses will come. They always do. Anger, fear, frustration, urgency, chaos. They surge through your body, demanding release, screaming for action, tempting you to surrender. Most people obey without thought. Most people lose themselves. But not you. You have already felt the difference that pause brings. You have already seen how a single choice can redirect the course of a moment, a day, a life. And now the stakes are higher than ever. Every reaction surrendered is a step away from clarity. Every impulsive choice deepens the grooves of old patterns, making the chains heavier, the path narrower. You cannot afford to drift. You cannot afford to surrender. The fire of instinct is constant, but so is your ability to master it. Feel it. The tension, the heat, the racing heartbeat, the urge to act before you think. That is your mind alive, your instincts sharp, your emotions real. Do not fight them. Do not suppress them. Do not deny them. Feel them fully and then choose. That choice is the fulcrum of power. That choice is the hinge between chaos and command. That choice determines whether you are ruled by impulse or by intention. One pause, one deliberate breath, one conscious response. That is all it takes to shift the trajectory of your life. And once the first one is made, the next becomes easier. And the next. Momentum builds. Control grows. Confidence strengthens. Clarity expands. The chaos that once seemed unstoppable becomes a current you navigate, not a wave that overwhelms. The urgency cannot be overstated. Every unchecked reaction erodes your energy, your focus, your relationships, your freedom. Every hasty word, every impulsive action, every decision surrendered to emotion compounds over time. It defines the life you live, the opportunities you seize, the regret you carry. But every moment of conscious choice reverses it. Every pause interrupts the cycle. Every response reshapes the day, the week, the life. Freedom is not distant. Clarity is not theoretical. Power is not abstract. It waits for those willing to claim it, willing to meet the impulse with awareness, willing to train their mind until response becomes instinct, until mastery becomes habit. Imagine moving through life unshaken by chaos. Imagine the calm in the eye of every storm. Imagine responding with precision, control, and strength while the world rages around you. That is not fantasy. That is attainable. That is yours. Every act of awareness is a victory. Every conscious choice reinforces strength. Every deliberate pause reshapes the patterns that once ruled you. Arguments avoided, opportunities preserved, mistakes minimized, clarity magnified. Life bends to those who master themselves first. Your emotions are real, your instincts undeniable, your impulse is constant, but they no longer control you. You are awake. You are aware. You are the force shaping every decision, every word, every action. Every moment is raw material waiting to be shaped by your deliberate choice. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. The world will always demand immediate reaction. Pressure will always rise. Instincts will always scream. Every second you delay is a second surrendered to chaos. The path to mastery begins now in the tension, in the heat, in the storm of life itself. Pause. Breathe. Notice. Respond. Each act rewires your mind. Each pause strengthens control. Each response expands clarity. The chaos will rage. The pressure will mount. Voices will demand instant reaction. But you will stand firm, precise, unshakable, relentless. This is not theory. This is reality. This is a mind trained to respond. Claim it. Step in it. Owe it. Live it. And once you do, you will never be a prisoner of impulse again. Now feel the power building within you. Every conscious response reinforces strength. Every pause amplifies clarity. Every deliberate choice carves a life of freedom and control. The life you have been waiting for, the life that has seemed just out of reach, is not a dream. It is not luck. It is a skill. It is a practice. It is action. It is yours to claim. You have everything you need in this moment. Awareness, breath, choice, power. Do not let it slip. Do not wait for another chance. Take it, own it, live it. Every moment you respond, every time you pause and choose, you are creating a mind that cannot be controlled by chaos, a life that cannot be dictated by impulse, a future that is finally, undeniably yours. Every second you hesitate, the old habits tighten their grip. Every unmeasured reaction reinforces the patterns that have controlled your life for too long. Your impulses are relentless. They rise like tides demanding immediate action, threatening to sweep you under. Most people obey without thought, surrendering their power, their clarity, their freedom. But you are not most people. You are here. You are listening. You are awake. And that awareness carries responsibility. Every heartbeat is a chance to reclaim control. Every thought is a signal, a choice waiting to be made. Every impulse is raw energy, ready to be shaped or squandered. And the difference between reaction and response is the difference between chaos and command, weakness and strength, surrender and mastery. Feel the tension in your chest, the heat behind your eyes, the surge of anger, fear, or frustration. That is life testing you. That is your mind alive, your instincts sharp, your emotions real. Do not fight them. Do not suppress them. Do not deny them. Feel them fully and then choose. That choice is power. That choice is freedom. That choice is the hinge on which your life turns. One pause, one deliberate breath, one conscious response. That is all it takes to break the cycle of autopilot and reclaim control. And once the first one is made, the next becomes easier, and the next. Momentum builds, confidence grows, control strengthens. The chaos that once ruled your mind becomes a current you navigate, not a wave that overwhelms. The stakes are undeniable. Every uncontrolled reaction erodes your energy, your focus, your relationships, your future. Every impulsive word leaves scars. Every rash action limits opportunity. Every hesitation strengthens the grooves of habit that keep you small, reactive, exhausted. But freedom is always within reach. Clarity is always within reach. Power is always within reach. They wait for those willing to claim them, willing to meet the impulse with awareness, willing to train themselves until response becomes instinct, until mastery becomes second nature. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm and feeling calm. Imagine facing conflict, chaos, pressure, and remaining unshaken. Imagine responding with precision, clarity, and strength while the world rages around you. That is not fantasy. That is attainable. That is yours, but only if you act. Every deliberate pause is a victory. Every conscious choice is proof of strength. Every act of awareness reshapes the patterns that once ruled you. Arguments avoided, opportunities preserved, regret diminished, clarity magnified. Life bends to those who master themselves first. Emotions are real. Instincts are undeniable. Impulses are constant. but they no longer control you. You are awake. You are aware. You are the force shaping every decision, every word, every movement. Every moment is raw material waiting to be molded by your deliberate choice. Do not wait. Do not falter. Chaos will not pause. Press. Sure will not ease. The world will continue to demand instant reactions. Every second you delay is a second surrender to disorder, frustration, and regret. The path to mastery begins now, in the tension, in the heat, in the rush of instinct itself. Pause. Breathe. Notice. Respond. Each act rewires your mind. Each pause strengthens control. Each response expands clarity. The storm will rage, pressure will mount, voices will demand reaction, but you will stand firm, unshakable, precise, relentless. This is not theory. This is reality. This is a mind trained to respond. Claim it, step into it, live it. And once you do, you will never be a prisoner of impulse again. Now feel the power rising within you. Every conscious response reinforces strength. Every pause amplifies clarity. Every deliberate choice carves a life of freedom and authority. The life you have been seeking, the life that has felt just out of reach, is not luck. It is not a gift. It is practice. It is training. It is action. And it is yours to claim. Awareness, breath, choice, power, all in your hands. Do not let it slip. Do not wait. Every moment you respond, every pause, every conscious choice builds a mind that cannot be controlled by chaos, a life that cannot be dictated by reflex, a future that is finally undeniably yours. Step into it, own it, live it, and nothing, not anger, not fear, not chaos, will ever control you again. Every second you allow reflex to rule, you surrender power you were born to wield. Every reaction given without thought strengthens the patterns that have kept you small, stressed, and reactive. The impulses are relentless. Anger, fear, frustration, urgency, they rise in your body demanding release, screaming for action. Most people obey without question. Most people are swept away by the tide, but you are not most people. You are here, you are awake, you are listening. And a war in this carries power. Every heartbeat is an opportunity to reclaim control. Every thought is a choice. Every impulse is raw energy waiting to be shaped or squandered. The difference between reacting and responding is the difference between surrender and mastery, between chaos and command, between a life dictated by others and a life lived on your terms. Feel it. The tension in your chest, the heat behind your eyes, the rush of adrenaline urging you to act before thinking. That is life testing you. That is the raw material of transformation. You can surrender and it will cost you. Or you can pause, you can breathe, you can notice, and in that pause, everything shifts. Not tomorrow, not later. Now, one conscious choice reshapes the moment. One pause interrupts the cycle. One response redirects the trajectory of your day, your decisions, your life. That is all it takes to claim power over the chaos. One pause, one breath, one deliberate action. And once the first is made, the next becomes easier. And the next. Momentum builds. Confidence grows. Control strengthens. The chaos that once seemed unstoppable becomes a current you navigate, not a wave that overwhelms. The stakes are immense. Every unchecked reaction erodes your energy, your focus, your relationships, your freedom. Every impulsive word leaves scars. Every hasty action limits opportunity. Every hesitation reinforces the grooves of habit that keep you small, reactive, exhausted. But freedom is always within reach. Clarity is always within reach. Strength is always within reach. They wait for those willing to claim them, willing to meet the impulse with awareness, willing to train themselves until response becomes instinct, until mastery becomes second nature. Imagine standing in the middle of chaos and remaining calm. Imagine facing conflict, pressure, and disorder and responding with precision, clarity, and stir trill, inked while the world around you rages. That is not fantasy. That is achievable. That is yours, but only if you act. Every deliberate pause is a victory. Every conscious choice is proof of strength. Every act of awareness reshapes the patterns that once ruled you. Arguments avoided, opportunities preserved, mistakes minimized, clarity magnified. Life bends to those who master themselves first. Emotions are real, instincts are undeniable, impulses are constant, but they no longer control you. You are awake. You are aware. You are the force shaping every decision, every word, every movement. Every moment is raw material waiting to be molded by your deliberate choice. Do not wait, do not falter. Chaos will not pause. Pressure will not ease. The world will always demand instant reactions. Every second you delay is a second surrender to disorder, frustration, and regret. The path to mastery begins now, in the tension, in the heat, in the rush of life itself. Pause, breathe, notice, respond. Each act rewires your mind. Each pause strengthens control. Each response expands clarity. The storm will rage. Pressure will mount. Voices will demand instant reaction. But you will stand firm, unshakable, precise, relentless. This is not theory, this is reality. This is a mind trained to respond. Claim it, step into it, live it. And once you do, you will never be a prisoner of impulse again. Now feel the power rising within you. Every conscious response reinforces strength. Every pause amplifies clarity. Every deliberate choice carves a life of freedom, mastery, and authority. The life you have been seeking, the life that has felt just out of reach, is not luck. It is not a gift. It is training. It is awareness forged into action. And it is yours to claim. Awareness, breath, choice, power. All. Do not let it slip. Do not wait. Every moment you respond, every pause, every conscious choice builds a mind that cannot be controlled by chaos, a life that cannot be dictated by reflex, a future that is finally undeniably yours. Step into it, own it, live it, and nothing, not fear, not anger, not chaos, will ever control you again. Every moment you pause, you reclaim power. Every conscious choice builds momentum. The impulses are still there, raw and demanding. Anger, fear, frustration, urgency. They surge through your body, tempting you to react before thinking, to surrender before seeing. Most people obey without thought. Most people are swept away by instinct, but not you. You have felt the difference that awareness brings. You have seen how a single pause redirects a conversation, a decision, a life. And now the stakes are higher than ever. Every reaction surrendered is a step away from clarity. Every impulsive choice strengthens the grooves of habit that keep you small, reactive, exhausted. You cannot drift anymore. You cannot surrender. Your instincts are constant, but your mastery is optional and attainable. Feel it, the tension rising in your chest, the heat behind your eyes, the pulse of energy urging immediate action. That is life testing you. That is your mind alive, your instincts sharp, your emotions real. Do not resist them. Do not suppress them. Do not ignore them. Feel them fully and then act with awareness. That act is power. That act is freedom. That act is the hinge on which your life turns. One pause, one deliberate breath, one conscious response. That is enough to break the autopilot, enough to reclaim command over the chaos. And the first choice sets the precedent. The second becomes easier. The third becomes instinctive. Momentum builds. Control strengthens. The chaos that once seemed unstoppable becomes a current you navigate instead of a wave that drowns you. The urgency cannot be overstated. Every uncontrolled reacti on erodes energy, focus, relationships, and opportunity. Every impulsive word leaves scars. Every hasty action narrows your future. Every hesitation strengthens the patterns that have held you back. But freedom is not beyond reach. Clarity is not unreachable. Strength is not hypothetical. They wait for those willing to claim them, willing to meet impulses with awareness, willing to train until response becomes instinct, until mastery becomes natural. Imagine standing in the eye of a storm and feeling calm. Imagine the chaos swirling around you while you remain steady. Imagine responding with precision, clarity, and strength while the world rages. That is not fantasy, that is attainable. That is waiting, but only if you act. Every deliberate pause is a victory. Every conscious choice reinforces strength. Every act of awareness reshapes the patterns that once controlled you. Arguments avoided, opportunities preserved, mistakes minimized, clarity amplified. Life bends to those who master themselves first. Emotions are real. Instincts are undeniable. Impulses are constant, but they no longer control you. You are awake. You are aware. You are the force shaping every decision, every word, every movement. Every moment is raw material ready to be molded by deliberate choice. Do not wait. Do not falter. Chaos will not pause. Pressure will not ease. The world will demand reaction at every turn. Every second you delay is a second surrender to disorder, frustration, and regret. The path to mastery begins now, in the tension, in the heat, in the rush of instinct itself. Pause. Breathe. Notice. Respond. Each act rewires the mind. Each pause strengthens control. Each response expands clarity. The storm will rage. The pressure will mount. The voices will demand instant action. But you will stand firm, unshakable, precise, relentless. This is not theory. This is reality. This is a me, ND, trained to respond. Claim it, step into it, live it, and chaos will never control you again. Now feel the power rising. Every conscious response reinforces strength. Every pause amplifies clarity. Every deliberate choice carves a life of freedom, mastery, and authority. The life you have been seeking, the life that has felt just out of reach, is not luck. It is not a gift. It is training. It is awareness forged into action. And it is yours to claim. Awareness, breath, choice, power, all in your hands. Do not let it slip. Do not wait. Every moment you respond, every pause, every conscious choice builds a mind that cannot be controlled by chaos, a life that cannot be dictated by reflex, a future that is finally undeniably yours. Step into it, own it, live it, and nothing, not fear, not anger, not chaos, will ever control you again.